Okay, let's start. Beware of alpha syndrome. Recently, in Japan, we had some kind of the news topic about karoshi. Have you ever heard of that? Yeah. The karoshi is the death by working too hard. In Japan, last year, some young lady in the advertisement company worked to killed herself by working too hard. So we Japanese, or maybe people in all over the world, sometimes work too hard, even too hard to kill themselves. So why did they work too hard? When I talked about this topic in the conference in Moscow, so people there didn't understand. So it's quite difficult to understand the feeling of the people who work too hard to kill themselves. But it was quite impressive. The word in the Moscow programmer said, so we work to live, but some may live to work. So they work too hard so that work is their lives. So it's quite interesting mindset. But we too often work too hard. Yeah, remember last time you spent a whole night long to debug, or maybe you work too hard right just before the deadline. So let's face it. So we have a psychological tendency of, if I say a good word, diligence, or working too much, especially in the IT industry or in startups. So to explain this psychological tendency, there is a keyword, which is the alpha syndrome. So have you ever heard of the alpha syndrome? No? Okay, let me explain about that. So before that, computers are great. They'll never be tired. They'll never be bored. They are fast, especially in computing. So we can be more productive when we work with computers. That's why we work as a programmer. But so we have to be aware of alpha syndrome when I work with the computers. So let me explain. Alpha is a leader of a group, especially in animals. So the animals, some animals like wolves, dogs, so those animals have orders in their groups. So or maybe in the hierarchy. So imagine you have a pet dog, right? Like this. This is my dog. So you imagine you have a dog. It's a pet. It's adorable. So you pet it, you work for it, and you do everything you can for it, right? So, but in some cases, so you spend so much effort for your dog, so gradually that dog assumes it is the alpha of your family, because everyone takes care of it, everyone work for it, so they gradually consider itself as a leader of your family, which is alpha. So then the dog behaves bad. So it became a tyranny of your family, or dictator of your family. So this is called alpha syndrome. So this is kind of the psychological tendency of a dog. But we can have similar problem with computers. Okay, as I explained before, the computers are very efficient, but they are not perfect. They are far from perfect. So we have to work for them. So fundamentally, our job is take care of computers. We have to train them to work, or maybe we have to take care of to avoid system failure. So the DevOps things is fundamentally taking care of computers. So we have to take care of computers, and so you start to pay effort for them. So you start think computers are your alpha. So you gradually become slave of computers. So computers don't consider themselves alpha. They don't consider anything. So they are just machines, but we consider them alpha. So it's kind of the reverse of the alpha syndrome. So let's face it, we have tendency of this kind of mindset. So we have this kind of the psychological tendency. So this is one of the reasons we work too hard. So unconsciously, we consider computers as our masters. So we gradually became the slave of the computers spiritually. So we have to work for computers as much as we could. So gradually, computers cause problems like bugs and the system failure, the hardware failures, or the network outage or something like that. So we have to work for computers, often too much. So, but the originally, computers created as our servants. So remember, you are the master of the computers. So act against this psychological tendency. This is quite difficult, just because this psychological tendency is unconscious. So it's quite hard, it's quite difficult to fight against unconscious psychological tendency. But you have to fight against alpha syndrome. So don't work too hard. Let computers work for you. Be lazy. So being lazy is very, very important for programmers. So being lazy reminds me of 3 virtues of a great programmer. This is told by the Larry Wall, who created the Perl programming language. Of course you know Perl programming language. So the 3 virtues of great programmers are these: laziness, impatience, and hubris. Laziness is being lazy. So according to the Larry Wall, can we read that? The quality that makes you go to great effort to reduce overall energy expenditure. It makes you write labor-saving programs that other people will find useful and document what you wrote so you don't have to answer so many questions about it. So that means, so you are lazy so that to become lazy or to reduce your work, so you would pay every effort to reduce your energy. So that's the laziness. Impatience. He said the anger you feel when the computer is being lazy. This makes you write programs that don't just react to your needs, but actually anticipate them, or at least pretend to. So, because you're lazy, so you feel angry when you see computers are being lazy. So computers need to work, and we don't need to work. Hubris, it's kind of pride. The quality that makes you write and maintain programs that other people want to say bad things about. And then he said that laziness is the most important virtue of programmer. See? So to become great programmers, we should not work too hard. So we have to be lazy. We have to work less. That's the key to great programmer. And then Mark Andreessen, who created the Mosaic browser, and recently he works for the venture capital. And then he said the software is eating the world. So every industry in the world is becoming a software company. So that means software creators, programmers, must have the power to change the world. You know, we engineers have the ability to change the world in some degree. So, but right now, do you feel you have the power to change the world? Yes? No? Yes? If no, we need more power. We need more power. We need more power to change the world. And we need more power to become more productive. Right? Why productive? Why should we be more productive? So this is my belief, but because high productivity solves most of the problems. So once you become more productive, so most of the problems can be solved. So your budget problem, your deadline problem, your bugging problem, so most of the problem, or maybe your family problem, can be solved. If you have more time to spend for your family due to the productivity you have, so your family relationships could be better. So by being more productive, so most of the problem can be solved. So your economical problem, your family problem, or maybe your social problem would be disappear once you become more productive programmer, engineers. So how can we be more productive? By reducing our tasks, or by reducing lines of code we write, or by using more powerful tool and the language. I don't name it. No, it's Ruby. Remember, Ruby's design principle is productivity, focusing on humans, and the programmer happiness. But why I set these goals in the design of Ruby programming language? Why? Because, as I told you, high productivity solves most of the problem. So I created Ruby. I started programming Ruby in '93. So it is 23 years ago. So as a hobby. But it's not my assigned job. It's not my work. It was my hobby project to satisfy myself. I'm a programmer. I want to be productive. I want to make myself happy. So I want a language that makes me happier and more productive. So that's the reason. So Ruby is like this. So then after I designed Ruby, I coined up these goals, productivity. So, okay, I created Ruby like this, but why? So I asked myself and made up these principles afterwards. I find my unconscious goals in the design of Ruby programming language. Productivity, focusing on human, and the programmer happiness. So the programming works, programming life, programming everything can be solved by being productive. Without problems, we can be happy. That's the reason Ruby exists. Ruby exists to make us happy programmer, and then to avoid hard working, to avoid alpha syndrome. Remember that? By using proper tools and a proper language, so you can be the master of computers. And then you can be more productive by using the power of computers or by using the power of internet. So you can have more power. So Ruby and Rails and others, frameworks, tools, gems, give you power. So that's our ultimate goal. So we, the creator of the Ruby, so want you to be more powerful programmer, powerful engineers, so powerful enough to change the world. So empowering programmer, that's our ultimate goal. Empowering people is our ultimate goal. So I trust you when I give you power, so I trust you, you will do good things using that power. Because great power comes with a great responsibility, as the uncle of the Spider-Man said. And, more than a decade ago, so the one nasty programmer wrote a Trojan horse in Ruby using, so that makes Ruby the Ruby's fingerprint, Ruby virtual machine fingerprint, registered in the blacklist of the virus detection system for a long time. So don't do that. Don't do nasty things. That breaks the world. But I don't think I can prohibit that. But I strongly encourage you guys to don't do evil things. Don't be evil using Ruby. I trust you. You will do the great works if you have power. Don't do nasty things. I trust you. So the more powerful programmers, powerful computers, and powerful internet, the power from technology. So the Ruby is here to make you more powerful. But what is Ruby made from? So the word Ruby is not only referring to the language, or maybe to the virtual machine, or maybe to the particular implementation of the language. Look at JRuby, JRuby, or MRuby, or whatever. So Ruby the word Ruby is more broader, far more broader than the language, than the virtual machine. So what is Ruby made from? It's made from laziness, productivity. So these philosophy or principles are very important ingredients of Ruby. And then developer happiness is the most important ingredient of Ruby. And the community. It's quite difficult to define community, especially open source community. So I think you can define the community of, say, of the Taipei. So the people living in the community is members of the community of Taipei. But how can we define the Ruby community? So I don't think every Ruby user may be members of the community, Ruby community. But sometimes people feel themselves as a member of the Ruby community, even they don't write any Ruby code. So the OSS community membership is quite vague. But important things is, love, gratitude, or empathy toward Ruby, the broader sense of Ruby. So we don't have, admission to enter into the Ruby community. We don't have the, membership fee for being Ruby community members. So once we feel yourself as a member of the Ruby community, so you are the member of the community. That means the people is very important ingredient of Ruby. And then not just people, the people who share the same culture behind Ruby. That kind of the focusing on productivity and focusing on development. So we value people over technology. That kind of culture is the very important background of the broader Ruby. And resources, we have tons of resources. We have books, we have conferences, we have people, we have companies, we have libraries, we have frameworks, and we have Ruby gems. So more than 15 years ago, the other language communities teased us not having the enough resource. Like, okay, you don't have CPAN, the comprehensive power archive networks, or maybe you don't have the tons of libraries we have, that they have, the other language people. But last, 15 to 10 years, so we have gathered the tens of thousands of Ruby gems. So virtually we have everything we want to do. So if you want to create the web services, you have tons of Ruby gems supporting the creating web applications. Or you want to play with, say, games, so you have Ruby gems to support the game creation. So, and if you want to play with, say, music, you have the gems supporting the music playing. Or maybe you want to communicate through the network, so you have the gems to support your network programming. So you have gems everywhere. So, and then by combining people, resources, gems, so we have ecosystems. So So by having these ecosystems, so Ruby community can be stronger, so to support the member of the community or people in general, so that makes the world better place by the technology and by Ruby. So I want the Ruby community survives. So in open source software, so there are no strong membership of the community. Once you feel you are the member of the community, so you are the member of the community, that means you are so easy to leave toward the other technology. Like maybe you will go to the Node community or Python community or other community. So it's just real quick because there's no strong power to hold you in the Ruby community. That means, so if we stop progressing, so you just get bored. So you didn't pay anything to Ruby. Ruby is open source software. Ruby is free software. So you don't have to pay for it. So it's quite easy to leave toward another programming technology. So that means we have to be attractive. So to be what I say. So to be attractive, to keep being attractive, we have to make some kind of steady progress. Once we stop progressing, so the people bored. Okay, we have any new things in Ruby, so let's move on or something like that. So we have to keep moving forward. So that's what we did. We have done for last 20 years, and I want to keep doing that for next 10, 20, or maybe forever. So that's the Ruby community. That's the principle of Ruby. By the way, it's December. It's December 2nd. So every December, we release a new version of Ruby. So this year, we are going to release Ruby 2.4. And then every year, in Christmas Day, we give you the Christmas present from the community, for the community. So it's the Ruby 2.4. So we right now have the Ruby 2.4 preview 3. It has these features and more. So we recently replaced the open addressing, the internal implementation of the hash table. So it's contributed by the Vladimir Makarov and Yura Sakharov, they're both from Russian. And it makes Ruby hash table faster and consume less memory. So since the typical Rails application that creates a lot of hashes inside, so it makes the typical Rails application the few percent, maybe 1 to 5% faster. So without any behavioral change. So then, integer unification. In Ruby, we have the numbers, the integer numbers, which is the fixed nums and the big nums. Like a smaller integers, which is immediate, embedded in the value, fixed nums. And the bigger the integers are big nums in the history of the history of Ruby, and since the beginning. But this there's a difference is kind of artificial because the number is small enough to fit in the some the value, and then some numbers are too big to fit in the value, so there is a different class. But this is a kind of the implementation issue, which is not related to the nature of integers. So these differences are inherited from the Lisp programming language and Smalltalk programming language. So, but I like that kind of the difference of by the artificial criteria, because it's kind of the leaky abstraction. We want to treat integers, not fixed numbers, not big numbers, just integers. So for that reasons, you can write the, say, factorial programs that runs for the factorial 100, factorial 200 without any overflow. But we still have this kind of the implementation dependent difference of classes. So I didn't like that. So finally, we have to figure out to solve those problems. And we made it in Ruby 2.4, which is the integer unification. Since Ruby 2.4, we no longer have the class named fixed nums and big nums, just integers. And then the difference is hidden inside of the implementation. So you can just call them integers. So you no longer have the class fixed nums and big nums. So, but 99.9% of your programs work just fine. You don't just care about the big num or fixed num or anything like that. So then there are few programs that is broken by this change, and we already have addressed most of them. So since Ruby 2.4, you don't have to worry about this kind of leaky abstraction of integers. The last one, in the history of Ruby, we don't treat the non-ASCII characters in case mapping. So before Ruby 2.4, the Pokemon become Pokemon. So you cannot change the case of the accent characters. But the Unicode consortium provides the way for the case mapping. So we use that database to change the case conversion properly, even outside of the ASCII characters. So after 2.4, Pokemon just works fine with the case conversion. We just can't play Pokemon here. So those are the highlight of the changes. We have a lot of changes in Ruby 2.4, but these are very notable changes in Ruby 2.4. So you can play with the Ruby 2.4 after Christmas, or you can just try the new Ruby 2.4 by downloading the previous 3 of Ruby 2.4. Then the important things is except for integer unification, the Ruby 2.4 is a drop-on compatible to the previous version of Ruby. So you can replace Ruby 2.3 by Ruby 2.4, almost having no problem. So you can just replace it. And then it will make your application run faster and more powerful. So, in summary, so in Ruby, basic principle is don't break compatibility. So, in the past, we have a lot of nasty things keeping compatibility. For example, we break huge compatibility between 1.8 and 1.9. And then we had a lot of nasty things in the past. And then we have learned a lesson that is don't break compatibility for no reason. Mind users benefit. So, for example, I don't want to say bad things about the other programming language, but it's a fact. But we have the language named the Python, and which is the Ruby, which had a huge compatibility gap between Python 2 and Python 3. And then Python 3 was released on 2008, I guess, and then more than half of the community still using Python 2, which released in 8 years ago. And we had the minor upgrade of the Python 2 still, but the people still using the older major version of the language. And yeah, I believe Python 3 is good language. It's cleaner than Python 2, and it's more consistent than Python 2. But still, the people using the older major version, Python 2. Just because, the language cleanliness doesn't matter for users. It's just, okay, better language, but what matter? So we had similar things in the past. We have Ruby 1.9 and Ruby 1.8, but apparently Ruby 1.9 runs far faster than Ruby 1.8. So the Ruby community people pay a cost to migrate to 1.8 to 1.9, but by migrating, the people gain the performance boost by 2 to 50% according to your application. So we provided the benefit of the gap of the incompatibility. So we have to provide the benefit to the community. That means we have to be nice to users. So provide benefit to users. That's very important to the community. So we have to keep moving forward. We have to make progress to be attractive to the community members. But at the same time, we must not punish our users by forcing them to pay the price without no reason. So we sometimes need to make some kind of incompatible change to break the previous past programs. But we have to provide clear benefit of that breakage. So I think we have to talk with users, communicate that this change will benefit you. You have to pay the price, but by paying the price, you have to get this benefit. I don't want to punish you. I don't want to provide you benefit by the price of this breakage, this incompatibility. We have to communicate. I don't want to work hard but I really, really want to communicate with people, with users, and with kids. Happy hacking. Thank you.